And I think the interesting thing here is that it is very much connected to how education is becoming part of the knowledge economy, and how you're trying to compete in this global knowledge economy by engaging people or pupils from elementary school and the entire way up in order to become the best possible versions of themselves. And here you are turning on the intensity or the affectivities, so to speak.
I think that one of the most important emotions that I would want to hold on to as being a prime mover is pity, is to be moved to feel for the suffering of another person can actually make a kind of recognition of the humanity of that person and then make things happen.
If you go to Ellis Island, there is a museum there, and you can see in order to enter, I think it's 100 years ago or more, in order to enter you had to go through different tests. And one of the tests is actually to look at faces, see if you could read what a face was it about. Was it a smiley or was it a sad face and so on. And that's a technology which has been taken out from this you're in or out island and taken into schools today and into organizations, etc.
I'm always very astonished when I'm in a cinema that people laugh when I laugh. And it had also happened that I laugh and nobody laughs, and then I have a kind of a certain embarrassment. But there is a kind of a collectivity that maybe the term affect can take, that is also without talking about it. There is a way of sensing.
I think that emotions are nothing but very condensed culture. What we do when we react emotionally to something, we are reacting in a very quick way. It's what characterizes emotion is that it's a kind of short circuit that we're taking to have a reaction, a cultural reaction to something.
I would say when I look at change processes in organizations, there's always a basic level where people actually try to control change processes and how people feel, and there are of course certain scripts to be followed, but at the same time I think there is something that cannot be controlled, and because control comes from the Latin contra rotulus, to prevent things from moving, and I think emotion is exactly that, what we can't control. It escapes, it is much more open, much more unended. And I think that's where this new ontology comes in, that although we have institutions or we have new forms of self-management, there are always other responses going on which we maybe, who are getting out of the picture, and we're also where I would say real change is possible.
I live in a culture which really believes that it can tell if O.J. Simpson's face just sitting there was guilty or not. Now, of course, we really can't tell that, but our cultural system is such that we think, and our technologies of simply watching television or attending to close-ups have led us to believe increasingly that we can. And so, yes, I think emotions do manifest in ways that we believe are prevalent, but actually are technologically produced.
I think a lot of the wisdom of emotion, if there is a wisdom in emotion, has been undercut by this hyper-rationalist culture of the management of emotions. So I would say feel less in the sense of think less about your emotions and use more your intuition.